Hey guys, welcome back to Vibrations and Libations. I'm James.
And I'm Keith.
And tonight we're listening to Steely Dan, and the album is Asia. And we're drinking a little, go ahead.
Some martinis.
A little uppity for us, but we're not going to let high class drink put us down. So
no,
we're going for it tonight. Which
right.
I've never had a martini before, so I'm kind of excited to try this out, especially since it has green olives in it, because I love green olives. So
me too.
Good choice on that.
And I've got a good friend, and he always talks about drinking martinis and things, and made me want to try them. I was looking for a new drink, something kind of savory,
right?
And it just sounded like it'd be right up my alley. And so I like them extra dirty, extra dry.
Like your women? Oh wait, that's extra dirty, extra wet, right?
Yes.
Maybe we'll cut that part out.
Maybe. Our wives never watch it.
No, my wife doesn't watch this either, so
right.
We'll leave it in. Okay.
Maybe.
Okay, so I know you're thinking martinis. So how are we drinking it? Are we drinking it shaken or stirred? I know that's what some of you guys are thinking. So Keith, answer the question.
Shaken, of course.
Drinking it shaken.
And not because of James Bond, but because some people argue that shaken, you get a little bit of melted ice in there, and it helps chill out the drink a little bit.
Right.
And I agree. That's the way I like it. Mm-hmm. So I hadn't had martinis, and we were actually supposed to do the video about a little over a week ago, maybe.
Right.
Was it a little over a week?
Yeah, I think it was about a week or maybe even two ago.
Okay, so I bought all the stuff, and we had to cancel, and I was like, man, it's a good thing we had to cancel, because I've never mixed a martini. So how the hell am I supposed to mix a martini and try it out and give it a good rating, a good try? And the first one that I made, I'll be honest, it tastes like hell. It wasn't good. I bought a cheap gin and went for it. That first one good, but the next night I made another one, and that next one I made a little bit better, and it was good. And then I kind of perfected it from then on. Finished the bottle of gin over the week and a half or whatever we had in between, and so I bought better gin this time, or more pricey gin, and it is better. I'm no gin connoisseur. This is my second bottle of gin ever having, but the going for the added expense made it better. And I'm not talking about huge expense. It was like $14 and some change for this gin, and that's not bad for a fifth, and you're going to get several drinks out of it.
Right. So if you've never had a martini before and be interested in trying it, leave some comments down below after you watch this video, and maybe Keith can put his recipe on there for what he uses, what brand he used, and how much he uses, and make your own martini at home.
That's right.
All right, so again, we're listening to Steely Dan. The album's Asia, probably their pinnacle on an album release, I guess. Several hits on it.
I hadn't really listened to any Steely Dan. I've heard a few of their songs of them, and I listening to this album, I'd heard a few of these songs before, but I was looking for something to pair well with the martini.
Right.
And the same friend that turned me on, J-Rod turned me on to martinis, said you should listen to some Steely Dan, and he was right, because it's kind of jazzy, kind of groove.
That's right.
It's so good. And as soon as I heard it, I was like, James, you got any Steely Dan? He said, here's the ones I have. Asia's one. I was like, let's do that one.
Right.
And then I listened to it, and I've listened to it about 4 or 5 times over the past week or two, and I really like it.
Yeah. It's I've heard Steely Dan be referred to as a thinking man's band. Really a real technical as far as music goes, and I would agree with that. I mean, when they put something down on a recording, I mean, it's good shit.
It is.
It's not. I mean, they're not just messing around in the studio. Things I've read, about them, and especially in making this album. I mean, they were hardcore into it, and this album is very well produced, very well put together. Every song on it is. I mean, there's no mistakes in the songs. The music is spot on every time.
And you said very well produced. sometimes that can be a bad thing, but in this particular album's, it's not a bad thing. It's very clean sounding, but at the same time not overproduced, like somebody just sat and messed with it. It's just clean. Everything's well put together. It's a good album.
So I'm sitting here drooling, trying to not go ahead and drink this martini. So,
drink it, James.
So I'm gonna try it out, and you tell everybody some of the hits, if you don't care, and the other songs that are on it. Okay. And I'm gonna go ahead and start on this.
So,
cheers.
Oh, here we go.
All right, here we go.
So I'm gonna take a sip.
I'll save my comments till you're done. Go ahead.
All right. So, peaking at number 3 on the U.S. charts and number 5 on United Kingdom chart, Asia, the band's first platinum album, eventually selling over 5 million copies. The record spawned a number of hits, including Peg, Deacon Blues, and Josie. In 2010, the Library of Congress, Asia was included in the United States Recording Registry base, based on its cultural, artistic, and historical significance.
Yeah, so if you made it into the Library of Congress, you've done something there.
You've done something.
I mean, you're pretty well respected. Now, with that being said, I'll dumb this down a little bit. Every time I listen to Steely Dan, I was talking to Keith about this earlier, I think of stereotypical 70s. I mean, this music would go perfect in any 70s movie. Okay? Also think about the fashion. It's not really disco sound per se, but I mean, it's got some influences in there.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit of influences in there with a little bit of funk, a little bit of groove. If you are a jazz and a rock fan, this album's for you. Steely Dan's for you if you've never listened to Steely Dan. But I always think about cocaine all over the place, just drug crazed parties. So people, you always see in some 70s movies, people just, blow all over the place.
I think that's a lot of wishful thinking on James' part.
Probably so. But with that being said, that's every time, no matter what Steely Dan album I listen to, I just always think that they've just got that classic 70s groove sound to them,
I agree.
And
I think we know what James is going to do when he wins the lottery. Cocaine and hookers.
And Steely Dan.
Maybe martinis too.
Yeah. So we'll have martinis, we'll have cocaine. No, I'm just joking.
Complete joke, kids.
Yeah, no cocaine. Lots of martinis though.
So drink some more of your martini.
All right.
Black Cow, in order. Black Cow, Asia, the title track, Deacon Blues, Peg, Home at Last, I've Got the News, and Josie. 7 tracks.
7 tracks, that's it. But they're all pretty good tracks. My favorite on the album is Deacon Blues. That's my favorite.
I like Deacon Blues a lot, but I think Josie is my favorite, and I like Home at Last and Peg a lot as well. But I say Josie, Deacon Blues, Home at Last, Peg.
Right.
And the other Asia and Black Cow are not bad either.
Right.
I've Got News is good. They're all good tracks.
Would you like to talk about some martini history, or would you like for me to give my opinion on the lyrics for this album?
Let's wrap up the album.
Okay, all right.
And then we'll go into the martini.
So real quick, and then I'll let Keith drink some of his martini as I say this. With the exception of Peg and maybe Josie, the other songs on this album, the lyrics are all over the fucking place. I don't even know what the hell they're talking about in some of the shit. They're all clear. They're understandable. You can listen to them. You can sing along to them. But until I actually read the lyrics of the songs, I'm like, what the heck have I been singing all these years? I have no idea what this song's about. It doesn't make it a bad song. I just, I do like a song that has a bit of a story that you can kind of follow along with, and you're not getting that out of this album. Other than maybe Peg who I guess is a model or actress, maybe. I'm not sure about that, but and then Joe sees some girl coming home and they're lining up their motor scooters, you know, when she gets there. The rest, like Asia, the title track, I have no idea what that song's about.
I believe that's the song playing right now.
It's all over the fucking place. And that's my soapbox on the lyrics.
Oh, Deacon Blues is probably the worst about being all over the place, and that's your favorite track.
And that's my favorite track, right. And I don't even know what the hell it's about.
Oh, it's great. I thought it was a church song.
It might be. I don't have a fucking clue.
It might be. But, do you want to rate the album or wait till the end and rate the album and the drink together?
Let's go ahead and rate it. We usually wait till the end. Let's go ahead and do it.
All right.
You go first.
I'll give it a 3.5.
I'm going to give it a 3. I would give it a 4 if I knew what the damn songs meant. I would, but I'll give it a 3, and I suggest that you listen to it. If you've never listened to this and you know you're a fan of classic rock, or maybe you've just heard the songs that were the hits that they play on classic rock stations, give the rest of the album a try. Look up, I've recently been listening to Amazon Prime Music, and I've really gotten to be a big fan of that, because versus Pandora, where you might get one song of who you want to listen to and then 10 other songs of somebody else in that era, and then Spotify, where it'll play the album but it won't play it in order. If you have an Amazon Prime account, you can listen to the music free, and it'll play the whole album from start to finish. And that's how I listen to this album most of the time. I've listened to it while getting ready for this video. I've listened to it at home on the vinyl here, of course, but driving back and forth to work and going out in town, I mean, I've probably listened to it 20 times since we decided to do the video on this, and Amazon Prime's the way to go for that. So, but I give it a 3. Long story short.
Yeah, I give it 3.5. Because it just surprised the hell out of me how much I like it.
Right.
I was like, Jesus, why haven't I listened to Steely Dan at all in my life?
But now you have 2 more to listen to.
I do. James brought some more Steely Dan for me to enjoy, spin.
Maybe if I can, broaden his music a little bit as he's broadened mine with, several bands since we've started doing these videos, it'll all be worth it.
I hear hints of some of my favorite bands in here.
Mm-hmm.
Doors, I'm a big Doors fan.
Yeah.
And actually, since listening to this album, I've been listening to the hell out of some Doors too, along with it, and it's really been a good thing.
Yeah, it's good stuff. All right, so let's talk about some martinis a little bit more in depth here, Keith. You are the resident martini expert, so let's hear about this. This is my first time trying it. I have to say I like it pretty well.
So martini is made with primary ingredient is gin.
Okay.
And gin and vermouth in various amounts. So it's not agreed on. So just a regular martini is just gin and vermouth. And I think they began closer to like 2 to 1 gin, 2 parts gin to 1 part vermouth, but it quickly got away from that, where people really enjoyed the taste of gin. And during Prohibition, gin was really readily available because the ingredients were there, and they made high quality gin, the bootleggers did. And so there was more gin available, so people got the taste for it, and more gin, less vermouth. And that's the way I like it too. Just a splash of, a little more than a splash of vermouth. And then we like them dirty, extra dirty. And I've kind of backed off on how extra dirty I like it because of the new gin that I bought that was a lot more flavorful.
Right.
It's good stuff. A lot of people don't like gin, but it's good stuff.
I've not ever had a whole lot of gin. In this martini that you made, I do like the salty taste coming from the olives, which I'm going to eat one right now.
The gin has that like a bitter flavor, but it kind of reminds you of a little bit of like a saltiness. It's kind of like tequila. Tequila has that that weirdness, that weird tequila. Gin's kind of like that in its own, but more of a fruity flavor than, not fruity may be a bad example, but you can get fruit notes, like a dry wine has fruit notes, but it's not overly fruity. That I say gin is like that. And we like them dirty with olives. The exact origin of the martini is not is up for debate. I think we talked about this a little bit. Italian vermouth maker started to market their product by the brand name of Martini, and so that's where the cocktail kind of got its name, because it was because of the vermouth, and we're using Martini and Rossi vermouth tonight. A very popular, there's a guy named Martinez. He's sometimes served it in the early 1860s in San Francisco. So maybe it was San Francisco, maybe it was Italy, maybe it was, I think New York chimes in there. But it's considered a fancy drink. It fell out of favor.
I should probably put my pinky finger up.
Maybe you should. Fell out of favor in the 70s and 80s. That's kind of ironic, considering we think it fits so well with
this music,
the Steely Dan. But and Steely Dan is kind of the epitome sound of the 70s.
I think so, anyway. Yeah.
But people weren't sipping martinis listening to Steely Dan. At least not very many.
They were doing blow.
Yeah, doing blow. And so we don't have any blow tonight, but we got martinis.
Yeah.
And so what do you think? You like the martini?
I do. I will just go ahead and rate it. I give Keith's martini a 4.
A 4?
I like it. I like it.
I'll give my martini a 5. It's out of martinis. It's the best one I've ever had, because it's the only one I've ever had. So
we may have to broaden our martini experiences a little bit, but right now I'm liking it.
So if you're a martini expert, please come to Kentucky, or if you're already in Kentucky, if you're a native Kentuckian martini expert, get in contact with us and come out here. I'll make you a martini and
tell us what we need to do or not do, because it's already fucking good. So
it is already good.
And I'm going to eat this other olive right.
Do it, James.
I love olives. All right.
I can hardly resist.
I can hardly resist.
I like to save mine to last because it's like a treat.
I could eat a whole jar of olives, green olives.
Got to use the Queen, the Spanish olives, because you do a little, put a little olive juice in there, and they have the best flavor. That the olive juice is real. I don't know. It's real strong flavor.
Nice job on the glasses too, getting the glasses for us for tonight.
Yeah, gotta look official.
That's true. Okay, so Steely Dan Asia, I gave it a 3 because I don't know where the hell the lyrics are going in some of these songs. Keith, you gave it a
3.5.
I give Keith's martini a 4. He gives it a 5 because it's the only martini he's ever had. Yeah. Maybe you put another olive in, I'll give it a 5 next time.
Best martini I've ever had.
Best martini I've ever had. Right. All right, so
I can't wait to order a martini in public. Extra dry, extra dirty.
Extra dry and extra dirty. Yeah, I'm going to do that. A martini, extra dry, extra dirty. And we'll see what my wife says about this video if she watches it.
Oh yeah.
You know, because that's how we like our women.
She knows you don't like your women extra dry. Maybe extra dirty.
Maybe extra dirty. All right, so do we have anything else to add to any of this, or are we good?
We're good.
I think we're good too. So until next time, I'm James.
And I'm Keith.
And we've been drinking martinis and listening to Steely Dan. So once again,
keep it extra dry, extra dirty.
Extra dirty. Thanks, guys.